I'm going to be the head of my household again. And so I'm not going to be circumvented in that. And so if everybody's willing to conform to patriarchy again, I guess, because I've been fighting to make everybody happy. My bitterness is out of trying to do that and not having the family that I had thought about and designed.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd signed up for patriarchy, but that's not what we all agreed on in the very beginning. But
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, October 3rd. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Last night was season 17's 4th episode for Sister Wives, and my goodness, was this one a doozy, because Christine Brown sat down her sister wives to talk with them about leaving the family. Now, this episode was an interesting one because it also involved a discussion about Janelle moving out onto the property with her trailer, or a long fifth wheel. You remember last summer she did that, and then she didn't stay there because of the winter, and then she decided not to move back because Savannah didn't want to live in it. Yeah. So that was a whole first half of the episode, and honestly, because we already know what happened and the outcome, it's really not that interesting to talk about, because we know, 1, she does move out there, 2, she stays there for the summer, 3, she doesn't return because of Savannah, 4, she's now in a rental and still in Flagstaff. So there was a couple key parts of this conversation that happened on the episode that I want to dive into. We actually covered quite a bit of this discussion that Christine had with her sister wives about the end of their marriage with Cody, and I'll sort of talk a little bit about that. But first, before we get into it, can you do me a huge favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed. Turn your notifications on and set them to all so you know when I upload new content, and if I ever go live. Make sure to leave some comments about your thoughts about this video, and as always, make sure to share this video with your friends if you like this kind of content. Okay, so on the episode, the very first part is all about Janelle potentially moving out to the property, which we already know happens. So let's fast forward to Christine sitting everyone down.
I think me leaving is very private. Right now, I don't want anyone to know but us. So we're using our phones to film it.
Christine makes the decision to finally sit everyone down because Janelle has announced that she is going to be moving out of the property and that her rental is up. So her house is up for sale, and she doesn't want to buy the house, so instead she's going to buy this trailer that she claims she bought sight unseen. She is going to then put the trailer out on the property. And so Christine, having met with Janelle and all the sister wives, realizes that now is the time that she lets them know. And during the conversation said that she needed to do this because Janelle is in need of a place to stay and she could rent her house if she wanted to, a topic that never actually gets circled back to by Janelle. So when Christine finally sits everyone down, it's very, very tense. They're all sitting out in her backyard. They're 6 feet apart. She discusses about how she wants to do this with their own cameras. They don't want the film crew there.
This is a private conversation that I need private. I need it to stay private for now. So I've needed to talk to you guys for a long time, it's true. But with you moving out of your house, I figure now is the best time ever. No secret that Cody and I have been in a rough spot for a long time. And I decided to leave. I'm gonna leave Cody. Just leave.
So Christine tells them that she's going to leave. And it's like complete silence for a little while and nobody really says anything. Obviously, we saw last week in my video that Robin is one of the first people to respond. And she's sort of like, she's emotional and she's like, oh, I sort of knew this, but I didn't know this. I thought it might be, something else, because she knew Cody had moved out. She just thought maybe they would work through it.
Well, I knew you packed his stuff up. I knew that, but I didn't know how final it was or if it was just a break or something.
No, it's final.
Meri is just very quiet, trying to process everything. Janelle is also already knew what was going to come because she and Christine had had some conversations about it. But it's like everyone kind of knew ahead of time what was coming. It was just the finality that kind of took people's breath away, apparently. And during this part, like Kody doesn't really say much. Janelle, Christine says that she didn't have a lot of hope. She felt hopeless and sad, and she was just sort of tired of living in that. And the first time she got hope was when she made the decision to leave. And Christine basically is like, well, I'm bringing this up now because of her moving.
I need to talk to you specifically because I do plan on moving to Utah, and you want to rent this house.
Kody's like, well, is that the only reason why you brought it up? Is it because she's moving? And she said, there's never a perfect time to bring this up, but with her having to move and needing a place, I should have brought this up a month ago. And before Janelle will even entertain that conversation, they start arguing about Truly. Now, Janelle is wanting to know what this means for Truly. Like, what does it mean? Is Truly going to come back? Is she going to go? Because Christine's like, I'm also moving to Utah.
But my biggest concern is I have to back up first and just, like, what about the kids? Like, what happens now with the kids?
The kids are the hardest part, of course. I think that this is still family. It's just going to look different.
So when Christine says, I'm going to move to Utah, you can rent this place from me, Janelle's like, well, wait a minute, what about Truly, right? And she's like, well, obviously, me taking Truly from Kody, I think she'll be fine. It'll just be an adjustment. And that kind of sets off Kody, like, take her from me. And then Kody, like, has selective amnesia and acts like he and her never had a conversation about her moving to Utah.
I think Truly's going to be fine. She'll miss everybody, of course, and it's going to be hard. And taking her from Kody is hard. It's hard. Don't get me wrong.
She's never going to come back?
No, you can't take her from me because we'll have to have a shared custody. It'll have to be 50-50.
Utah, and claims that Christine never asked for permission for him to move to Utah, never asked her about letting him, like, kicking him out of the house, never asked about leaving. And Christine is sitting there almost dumbfounded because she's like, wait a minute, we did talk about this. And he's like, well, I never said anything. And she's like, you said okay.
Well, we talked about that I would be moving and taking Truly.
I never said it was okay that you were moving. You just talked about moving.
You did say it was okay we were moving. We had a conversation.
So you would have...
I never said it was okay that you moved. I never made a big deal out of it. I never answered that. You never asked if you could move. You said you were moving.
I said that I needed you to let me go.
Okay.
And you
I
said
can let you go.
okay.
That's what I said.
So Kody, in this respect, I think is trying to grandstand in many ways. He's trying to make it seem like things happened that didn't happen, or didn't happen that happened, because he doesn't want to look weak in front of the wives. Like, oh, if Christine takes Truly, that means someone else can take their kids. I feel like he's trying to set an example to the other wives. And this will happen again and kind of plays an important role. That reaction by him of feigning ignorance and acting like that conversation never happened will come up later, and then him making an example will come up later as well. So Christine is of the opinion that Truly doesn't really have that close of a relationship with any of her siblings here in Flagstaff, and that her closest relationships are actually with her biological siblings, McKelty, Aspen, and Peyton, all of who live in Utah. And so she feels like moving to Utah would be the best for her. And she said that, obviously they'll come back for Thanksgivings and Christmases and they can figure all of that out. But Janelle seems sort of stunned that, like, Truly will never be back. I did think it was kind of a blow because she said, Truly's closest relationships are with these people, proving that even though Christine and Janelle are friends, their kids that still remain with them are clearly not that close, because Savannah and Truly don't have much of a relationship. But Savannah is also 10 years older than, Truly, or not 10 years older, 6 years older than Truly. I don't know. She's older than Truly. Enough older than Truly that there's an age gap where they wouldn't be close. Solomon and Ari are closer in age to her, and she doesn't really have much of a relationship with Solomon and Ari. So circling back, Kody is trying to act like they never had this conversation. And it comes, it gets to this point where you know, she's adamant she's leaving for Utah. Kody's trying to pretend like the conversation didn't happen. Meri's angry. Then the conversation is kind of like about what does this mean for sister wives? So if she's still a sister wife. So here's this component of this that I think is interesting, because shunning is a real factor when it comes to leaving a family. So Kody starts, you know, talking about like, why do you need to move to Utah? What's even there? And she's like, well, my parents are there. My family is there. And Kody's like, well, you're not part of the polygamous community. You're not part of our church. You've left the faith. And Robin is like, do you still have a testimony about plural marriage? And Christine is like, no,
So,
no.
like, do you want to be done with the rest of us?
No, I think that,
So you don't want to move out onto the property?
no.
The idea that Christine wouldn't be my sister wife it feels wrong
No.
to me.
No, if you want to live it, that's fine, but I don't have a testimony about it. I don't believe in it. So Kody says that her moving, she won't have that community because she's out. And so in his mind, like, he's already setting the stage again for setting an example, and he's setting the stage for shunning, and so does Meri. Because Meri then talks about how if she's not married to Kody anymore, they're not sister wives. So Meri is setting the stage for shunning. So Meri and Kody are preparing to shun, is what I'm getting out of this.
I don't feel like Christine was very happy even when we were living in Utah. She seemed angry and very reserved, and she knows how to put on a front, but it's really disappointing to me. It's really disappointing.
So she says that she does have support there. She does have family there. And mind you, she's got a lot of family that's left, including her mother. So Kody's just full of...
What do you gain by leaving, Christine? I mean, you don't
Community.
like this place.
An incredible.
When you say community, what are you talking
My
about?
parents, other plural families that
Christine,
are
you're
friends.
leaving this. You haven't liked plural marriage for years. You're leaving this. We're not part of our church anymore. How are you getting a community, a plural community, by where you're going?
Family.
You're
So-
leaving the plural community.
So after they kind of like go back and forth, so like Kody's like, you're leaving the plural community, you're leaving this church, you're not part of our community. She's being shunned, right? She's leaving. If you have to leave a community and you're being shunned, you're in a cult, okay? I'm just saying.
She's not a
And-
member of the polygamous community. She's not part of our
I'm just
church.
saying.
I don't-
And she has family that are out, by the way. I just want to say this. After he's made sure that the shunning is going to happen, then he accuses her of wanting to move because she has a boyfriend, or there's a man that she's interested in, and she doesn't want Kody around so that his scent isn't on her. And so
I don't
that she-
understand it at all unless there's some guy she wants to date there, or she wants to get away from me so that my stink isn't on her, so she can
on
date.
her. And so that she has the freedom to be with this rumored boyfriend. So this is the same greedy husband or boyfriend that's going to take all Kody's money. And now he's saying that she's moving there because she wants to date the greedy husband that's going to take all Kody's money. Kody is delusional. He is proving that he is jealous. And this is crazy to me because Kody has 3 other women that he sleeps with or had been sleeping with while he was married to Christine. But he's jealous that she would move for another man, which, by the way, there is no other man. But I digress. So then, as they're wrapping up and she's told Robin she doesn't believe in plural marriage, Robin asks her, you know, if your relationship was better with Kody, would you have remained in this marriage? Or would you have still wanted plural marriage? And Christine says that she doesn't want to play like the what if game because she doesn't see a scenario where she and Kody ever would have been in a good marriage. Not only that, after that, Kody then just sort of blows up and he takes control of the conversation and effectively says that like he's taking control and taking back his position as head of the house, that if people don't want to comply or go with his rules, there'll be problems. He doesn't have time or space for anyone that is rude to him, and he won't have the family together if they do not respect him. He has no time in his life to not be respected, and he is instituting the patriarchy.
I'm going to be the head of my household again, and so I'm not going to be circumvented in that. If everybody's willing to conform to patriarchy again, I guess. I've been fighting to make everybody happy.
Patriarchy, regardless of their desires. And Janelle's like, I didn't sign up for the patriarchy.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd signed up for patriarchy, but that's not what we all agreed on in the very beginning. But
It's not exactly true because she did, because their whole church is patriarchal. And that's the whole model. Women are not the actual, like, they're not independent. They're property of the men. But Cody is going to like institute this with a very like steel hand, you know, like he's going to lay down the law. And I think, again, this is about shunning Christine. So if you're not going to be respectful to me, you're not invited to family functions, but also setting an example to the other wives that, listen, if you are going to be like Christine, you can leave too.
And if it is too awkward, or if I don't feel like I'm the head of my household when people are around, then I'm not going to have the whole family together. I'm at a point now in my life where I don't have time to waste on people who won't respect me or treat me with respect. So we'll see how that goes.
Too, because I'm not putting up with this crap anymore. And he's proving to all of you the truth about this cult. Women don't have rights. It's not consensual. It's all about the man. And Cody claims that they've failed in this process because he tried to allow them to have too much independence.
I'm disappointed in how I've managed this. That somewhere along the line I should have taken the reins, but I felt like all of your independence was more important. And so in that, we sort of lost some form of unity.
And of course, Robin is then like, well, I hope people really understand what this means because this could really rock us.
This is just going to rock us in a very, very hard way if we're not careful. If we're not very, very, very careful. I sure hope everybody's taking it seriously. I hope everybody's taking the responsibility that we now have seriously. Because this is a big deal. This is huge.
If he doesn't have them comply, he commands them to obey his patriarchy. He commands them to submit to him. That's scary, really scary. And it's the truth. And you're finally seeing the truth of Cody. And it's setting the stage for, if you see what I'm doing here to Christine, it'll happen to you too. So if you want to be disrespectful to me, you'll go too. He's trying to take control back of a situation where he has none. And Janelle is not going to leave, not that I think at all, because in the very next episode, they're going to go look at property and they're going to go get that trailer. But it's just shocking to me that they never speak up for themselves. They never defend each other. They never defend the other wives. Everyone walks on eggshells with Cody. And the fact that he's commanding that they obey his patriarchy and that he's taking control of the family is disturbing to me. Did it disturb you? It was jarring in so many respects. I would like to know what your thoughts are. Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.